3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't remember. But today I'm gonna be in my garden, preparing my garden for transplanting from indoors, outdoors. So I wanted to share with you the things that changed how I garden and maximize my garden space, and that is simply square foot gardening. So I'm going to be going over what square foot gardening is, and the how to get set up with square foot gardening while I am getting ready. I have only about 20 minutes here, so I won't take much of your time. So essentially, um, what is square foot gardening? Square foot gardening is pretty much gardening using by the square, 1 foot by 1 foot. And people typically use either strings to measure their space, or you can use something like this, which I got off of Amazon in 2022. So about 3 years ago, when I started gardening here, I wanted to make sure I maximize my space. My space here isn't that big. Um, so I needed to make sure that whatever space I had, I used it to the utmost. So that is why I started the square foot gardening method. Now, what do square foot gardening? Square foot gardening helps to organize your space, helps you maximize your space, helps you save crowding of your crop and over spacing too. Because sometimes when you're not really sure how much space you need for a plant, you end up leaving too much space, and then you just wasted space. How does it save you money? It saves you money in the sense that you have more space to plant more things, right? And then less grocery shopping. So that's what I would say for square foot gardening. So pretty much, if you have something like this and you want to set your ground ready to plant your plants, you want to first water the garden bed to give it a little bit to make it a little bit moist, so that when you press this into the soil, it leaves the markings for you. All right, so we're gonna get started. I have about 13 tomato plants, which I intend to plant tomorrow evening. Also, when you're transplanting, you want to make sure you're transplanting in the evening, because then it gives enough time for the plant to acclimate itself to the new environment over the course of the night, as opposed to starting in the day and then getting hit by the sun. That's not really a good method of transplant. So yeah. Also be letting you know that for example, with my tomato plants that I'll be planting on this side of my garden, um, it's about four squares for tomato plants. So I know that's okay. Since I have only 4 squares for tomato plants, this space I have here, I have it properly measured. And then if I want to plant a companion plant beside it, like marigold, which I have here, marigold and petunia, I'll just plant it right beside the tomatoes. And I've saved space, you know? And my other companion plant I'm going to be planting with my tomatoes would be beans, because companion plant essentially plant, hey, welcome in, Alexa. I think that you plant together that benefit each other, if that makes sense. So you don't want plants competing with nutrients with each other while they're in the same space. You want everybody to maximize their use and enjoy themselves in the soil, right? So that's why when you're planting, you want to make sure that you plan what you want to plant. Okay? That's what square foot gardening helps with. And if you're wondering what's a companion plant, how do I know what's companion plant to use? What I simply do is I use an app called Planter app, and the Planter app basically shows you, what companion plant goes with what plants. So this right here, I see you guys can see. Awesome. I don't have to move. So I'm just gonna place this against here and then press it in. I'm gonna move it closer so you guys can see when I'm done. Press it in like this, and then I lift it up. Okay. Once I'm done with that, once I'm done with one level, I'm gonna come show you guys what I'm doing. But let me do it right now. Move closer right now so you guys can see. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Wonderful. Let me move this closer too. I'm streaming on both sides, so I'm trying to make sure that. Oh, this one here might not be the best. Okay. All right. Okay. I guys see right here. Okay, perfect. You guys can see. All right, I'm gonna come up here. So first thing you want to do again, I said, is wet the soil. And this soil, all of this soil right here is organic compost. This is all horse manure, guys. Horse manure. You see the indent is living right there. Okay. And what I do this before I transplant, just so I like to break down my gardening, like the things I do. I like to break it down by days, just because I don't have enough time to spend hours here in the garden. So like today, I have like only about 20 minutes. So in this 20 minutes I have, I'm tr- I'm I'm gonna make my square spaces and be gone, pretty much. And for those who are just joining, I'm gonna leave a link. Yeah, that's the thing. These bees, not the pollinators and stuff like that, but these other bees, I think they're like wasp or something, or hornets. They're in my garden. I want to find a way to deal with them. But anyways, if you're joining for the first time, you're wondering what tool this is. It's a square foot gardening grid, and I got it off Amazon about 3 years ago. So if you're interested, you can just search square foot gardening grid, and you'll find it. Yes. I also plan to put it in the description once I'm done with the live, but pretty much square foot gardening grid. Okay. All right. You can see. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see. I have some space left here on the corner here that is not up to square feet. But if I'm trying to maximize space, thing I'll do at this corner here is plant let me see. This corner right here is plant the marigold so that I have enough space. That makes sense? If you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the comment below. I mean in the comment section below. And to water this up a little bit more. Right, wood. Dry away. Do you guys have hornets in your area? Like, how do you guys deal with those things? I don't like. I'm like, this year I need to study. I need to study about bees so that I'm not running away when I see them. Because some of them, if you guys have any tips for those things, let me know. I mean, of course, there are good bees that helps with pollinating and all that. So, I'm not trying to get rid of them, all of them like that. But essentially, guys, this is what I do. So right now, I've created a space for two tomato plants right here. Um, like I said, I have so many things I want to plant this year. So, I'm not going to plant it all my 13 tomato plants in this space. I'll have to plant them, some of them outdoors. And what I love about this space is that I fenced around it to deter, deers, to prevent deers from coming in and all that. So yeah, I still have to plant peppers. Um, what else am I planting? Okra, corn, things like that. So yeah, I think one thing I should have done is I'm gonna have an arch going over that way. I could have done the squares from this side. What kind of what the bees are, guys? Guys, you see, I'm very crazy. Oh my god. What kind of bee is that, guys? I think that's a bumblebee. That kind of bee, I don't mind. And I know it's helping with pollination. All right, so let me go ahead and finish up this row right here. So from here to here, I'll be planting the tomatoes. Let me smoothen the ground a bit better. Yeah. Oh, okay. If you guys have any questions, you can drop in the chat. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So I'm gonna stop my tomatoes here like that. That's my tomatoes are gonna stop. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. It's probably better not to use your food so you don't break it. But no, I feel like the food looks better. Markings for me easier compared to whatnot. All right. Okay. All right. Guys have any questions? Please drop it in the comment. All right, let's go. Alrighty. And finally there. Yes. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five, six. So there's gonna be 6 tomato plants here. Oh. So there's gonna be 6 tomato plants in total here. And on the side of the tomatoes, I'm gonna be planting marigold or beans. So right here, I'm gonna have an arch going like this, trying to change up my garden, make it look nice. So I bought this arch also for the purpose of planting other things. So I want to plant beans this time for the very first time. So this arch is gonna dig in through here. I'm gonna plant the beans and kind of train it to grow this way. Now I gotta research how to do that, but that's my plan. So big peas is gonna grow here and on the other side right there. And then here on will be tomatoes and marigold as a companion plant. I'm gonna show you my marigold. So pretty much once they're done, I just basically rinse this off from on the garden bed. And that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. And then when you're planting tomatoes, you want to have something to prevent it from falling over, protect it, and all that good stuff. And to also guide its training. So once I'm done planting the tomato, I'm gonna press this in, and the tomato is gonna come through from here. Now the other part of it, what helps it this process is this right here. Petunias, the companion plant, which I'm gonna talk more about later, and this. So beside of it, the tomato area, like possibly around and in between them, I'm going to plant one marigold because this is the same companion plant as peppers. I'm also going to be using it for the peppers too. And guess what? Marigold is also a companion plant for beans. So again, it's all about planning. So before I bought the flowers and stuff like that, I looked for companion plants that kind of all work together so that I don't end up buying too many things or using too many plants and getting overwhelmed by what to do and what not to do. All right. So I got the companion plants from the store from Home Depot yesterday. No, sorry, on Sunday, Mother's Day. And they're really, really dry right now. So I need to water them and get them ready for tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'll be utilizing them and planting my beans in ground, with the 1 hour I have. All right. So look at the beautiful flowers here, guys. You guys can see it. I'm gonna give them a little bit of water. So guys, that's pretty much it. Let me see if there are any question. Thank you for that Gako. I really appreciate it. I'll be live again tomorrow transplanting. So stay tuned for that. If you're yet to like the video, please like it. And also if you're interested in gardening and starting your journey, do subscribe, hype the video, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Welcome in Sammy and Gleesy. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna try to have a stand that is equal so I'm not bending over. All right, everybody. Bye. Ciao, ciao.